Hi friends, my name is Rachael Ramirez. I'm one of the counselors here at the Vista campus, and today we are looking at a passage in Matthew, chapter 18, verse 15. I'll read it. It goes like this. If your brother or sister sins, go and point out their faults just between the two of you. If they listen to you, you have won them over. Jesus really emphasizes the importance of handling conflict privately at first. A way to think of this is connection before correction, or care before criticism. Now, please hear me. We are not supposed to only offer connection and only offer care. No, the Bible calls us to go and tell them their faults. The Bible does not call us to call just what is unjust. No, we are to say truth in love. How do we do this? 1 Corinthians 13, 1-2 says, if I speak in tongues, and now hear me friends, there are times when I speak so eloquently and I really think that that person is gonna hear me. Guess what? Here's what the Bible actually says about that. No matter how eloquently I might think I speak, if I do not have love, I'm only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy, now again, how often do I find myself offering correction and criticism because I'm very good at catastrophizing and I can see all the ways my kids are going to get hurt or injured or our finances could get away from us or this or that can happen? Friends, the Bible says, if I can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge and I have faith that can move mountains, but I do not have love, I am nothing. Now, don't get me wrong, a certain amount of attentiveness can bring healing. We see that in the way that Jesus is attentive to those around him and offers healing to them, and in the way that those people are attentive to Christ's presence and receive that healing from him. So the question is, how do we be more like Christ in this? Well, John chapter 1, verse 45 to 51 gives us a really good example of this. Now, Jesus was in the beginning stages of building his disciples, and it says, Philip found Nathanael and told him, we have found the one Moses wrote about in the law, about whom the prophets also wrote, Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph. Well, Nathanael says, Nazareth? Can anything good come from Nazareth? Now, Nathanael is one of those people who just cuts right through the niceties. And he's not wrong. Nazareth is undereducated and it's not particularly impressive. So what Nathanael said was not wrong, it was just rude. Well, Jesus, Son of God, has absolutely every right to correct and criticize him. But let's see what he does. Philip says, come and see. He must know his friend well. When Jesus saw Nathanael approaching, he said of him, here truly is an Israelite in whom there is no deceit. Nathanael is stunned. I wonder if all of his life, Nathanael has been written off as negative or insensitive. He says, how do you know me? Know in the Greek is gnosko. It means to learn someone, to understand that person, to feel them, to experience them. Lord, how do you experience me when everyone else experiences me as too much or too little? Jesus answers him and he says, I saw you while you were still under the fig tree, before Philip called you. Jesus saw him before Philip calls to him. That means that Jesus saw him and knew him before Nathanael's rude words even escaped his mouth, probably before he even thought them, right? Jesus knew him, and he spoke to him in gentle truth. Well, what does this produce? Nathanael cries out in a humbled, you are the Son of God. You are the King of Israel. Friends, I want to tell you that the way that Jesus responds to Nathanael is the way that Jesus responds to you and to me. Jesus knows you. He sees you. He sees who you really are. Your identity, it rests in him. Jesus speaks to Nathanael in both truth and love. Jesus doesn't call him rude. He says there's no deceit in him. Jesus wants to give us his eyes and his ears to see people the way that he does. And so I wonder, how might changing the way that we think and speak of ourselves and others change our hearts and the way we interact with them? And how might that point us all to be more like Christ? Have a great day, dosers.